We're in today with the GTX 680. This is a 2012 video card with 1536 shaders. It's got 4 gig of VRAM GDDR5 Samsung running at 1085 MHz on the core clock and 1502 MHz on the memory clock. It's got 256 bits bus width, DirectX 11 support. I'm gonna pair it up with this i7 7th gen. We're gonna jump in a couple of games and see how the system is holding. Seriously, 4 gig of VRAM. All right, let's jump into World of Tanks until the texture is coming. Oh, I set it up with maximum details on 1080p. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I have Ultra, you know, and yeah, I think this is gonna be very interesting. Do I have VSync on? No, no VSync on. This is gonna be very interesting. Seriously, it's going to be a little stress on the video card because the video card is reaching now 3 gig of VRAM. Look at that. Maximum core load, 3 gig of VRAM utilized already, 74 degrees. Wait, let's see. Okay, World of Tanks, 3.1 gig of VRAM. I got decent FPS with this, maximum core load on the video card. I'm not gonna lie, 3.1 gig of VRAM utilized. You can actually see that the video card is doing a great work when it comes on utilizing the VRAM. You know, this is one of those video cards that can allows the game to go on maximum details, but you can clearly see it needs a faster core in order to benefit from that. The average FPS in this game it's good, 60 FPS, but the minimals are horrible, you know, because it's the core is on maximum load. You know, you can actually see it looks fantastic, man. You look at this. The details are great. The game is doing a freaking nice job. The system is not fully stressed. 7.4 gig of system RAM, 50% load on the CPU. I will say it's a decent performance from the system, you know. And on the GPU side, I will say it's okay, you know. It's 60 FPS, it's okay, but yeah, I wouldn't put maximum load on this. I will lower the quality and use VSync in order to benefit from that VRAM. But in GTA 5 with maximum details, let me show you what I'm talking about. I got DirectX 11, 1080p, FXAA, no MSAA because it's gonna butcher the performance, and I put everything on maximum details without motion blur, and I have no frame scale because look at the core, it's maxed out. So I think the GPU is doing a fantastic job and it's utilizing 3.5 gig of VRAM. I will say that's very impressive, seriously. All right, let's go into the garage. Usually in the garage it's even worse, you know. 60 FPS still holding. That's actually a good number, seriously. 60 FPS. If I have 60 FPS average with this video card in GTA 5, then I mean come on, it's in the same year, you know. This video card was made for this game, theoretically, you know. So in this case, I will say nada, because this is the right video card for this game, seriously. If it's working like this in GTA 5, I'm 100% sure it's going to be a very pleasant experience, even if you're playing online, because it's averaging really well, you know. Look at this, 33 minimal, 44.1%. I will say an overall performance with this video card is kind of good, you know. So 3.6 gig of VRAM. Hopefully it's not the same history like with the GTX 970, you know, when it's utilizing only that 3.5 gig of VRAM. In this case, you can actually see that it's using 3.6, so it's good, you know. I'm not in the curse with 970, you know. The core is sometimes is not fully loaded, and I like it, you know. It's using the system in order to deliver this performance, and I like it. This is how the GPU needs to work, seriously. But let's jump into Dota 2 and see with maximum details. I think it's maximum details. Let's see the settings that I have here. I have maximum details, 1080p. I think this is the right combination. I don't know the performance I will get in a team fight, but for the moment, it's doing a fantastic job. Look at this. It's not being utilized at maximum. You can actually see that the core is not fully loaded. VRAM is not fully loaded. The system itself is using only 10.1 gig of system RAM and 50% load on the CPU. I think in a team fight it will be kind of horrible. Look at that. Let's see. Oh, let's see who's gonna Gonna drop down on the minimals, 44 minimals and 53 on 1%. This is a very interesting performance. By any Dota player standard, I think this is playable because majority of the people is not going to complain about this because it is a decent performance. 100 FPS, 42 on minimum. I mean, if you want even better numbers, you can lower the details in order to get better performance. You can lower the details in order to get constant numbers. You can lower the details if you want high FPS, but remember, this is an old video card, so in order to benefit from high numbers, you have to lower some quality here in order to be in a better position. But at the same time, I like the quality, I like the FPS. It's not that bad, you can actually see that in some situation it's not bad. Seriously, it's not bad. 100 FPS in the team fight, it didn't drop too low, so for 49 50 FPS on minimals, I will take it, so in this situation I would say Dota 2 with this video card, it's a big win, seriously. But if I'm jumping in Counter-Strike and I put everything on 1080p with lowest details, you can actually see that the system is doing a freaking nice job. So maximum core load here because it's trying to deliver as many FPS as possible, The GPU is doing a fantastic job. 2.4 gig of VRAM is being utilized here. 2.4! So if you want to play it on 1080p with lowest details Counter-Strike, you need to understand that you need a 3 gig of VRAM GPU in order to play with over 100 FPS. This is not discussable, seriously. You cannot negotiate this, apparently, in this game. It's got nice minimals, 51, 75, 1%. The game is utilizing the system properly. 9.3 gig of system RAM being utilized, and the CPU is utilized around 60%. I will say in overall performance, it's decent. There is no problem when it comes to, how shall I say, utilizing this system, with this video card. Last time I was here, I was with the Intel HD. I will say on 1024 because it says that 1024 with DirectX 12. It's starting the game, seriously. And the only problem I have is I cannot activate Fidelity FX. So we're going to take a look and see, because this is the lowest resolution, what we can do to actually improve. Even though, first off, I need to see how it's performing. I have to put this overlay in order to see the performance here. It's kind of weird to see this, how it's performing because, it's a GTX 680. And come on! It's starting the game, and the game apparently has been optimized. 50 FPS with the lowest resolution with the video card launched in 2012. 10 years before the game was released. Now, if you put this in consideration, I will say this is a big win for the video card. It aged very well. This GTX 680 from EVGA with 4 gig of VRAM, I will say it's aging pretty well, seriously. You know what happens if I put FSR? Let me show you. Ultra performance I had with Intel HD, yes? Now, if I put that, it becomes black. You cannot use that mode, you understand? Intel Xe super sampling performance. Let's try this one. 21 FPS. It's even worse than normal without upscaling. I would rather have nothing on it because it runs better. Look, 50 FPS. So without upscaling, it's... I think that upscaling is only good for Intel, seriously. So in this case, you can actually see it's worse with... any upscaling. But in Fortnite with 1080p with performance mode on 100%, I think this video card is doing a fantastic job. Look at the FPS that I have. Hundreds of FPS, no stress on the VRAM. There's a lot of options here in order to get even more FPS, but I think this is a general good number. If you're passing over 100 FPS and you have nearly 200 FPS, not very great minimals because I was driving a car. It's kind of good, in this situation. The CPU is 60-70% load on the CPU in some cases, 10.6 gig of system RAM, and hopefully I get better averages because it looks and it runs really well, seriously. So in this case, I will definitely like better minimals. Woo! no. 3 people are fighting. The third one is winning. But I'm curious how it runs with Fallout, because I set it up on 1080p with maximum details, and after the update you can actually see that the Fallout is running with 36 FPS. Maximum details, and yeah, can barely hold a couple of FPS. So let's see what's wrong. I think the core is on its knees, because in this situation you can actually see that the game looks fantastic. It's run really nice, you know. I want to see if the averages with the VRAM are okay, decent, and I'm actually interested if for some reason it ends up utilizing the memory from the video card, you know. Is it only one place that is lagging in the bush? Apparently 80 FPS. I don't know why it lagged there. I don't know. Let's go back. If I go near the water, it's lagging 26 FPS. Look at it. Why? All right. So in this case, you can see that the game looks really fantastic and barely reaching 2 gig of VRAM utilization. The system itself under 10 gig, 8.3 gig of system RAM it's used, but to average 40 FPS, 30-40 FPS on a card like this in Fallout, I think this is how shall I say, performance gone wrong. Not gonna lie, I don't like the performance, fam. Seriously, I was expecting some better numbers here. I like the video card how it's performing because it's from EVGA, and that's it. 4 gig of VRAM, 256 bits bus width. The video card is great overall, you know, but do remember it's because of that 4 gig of VRAM. That's it. If it's got 4 gig of VRAM, this video card can actually compete with newer class of video cards, you know. So in some cases it will be very advisable in order to see which one do you want to buy, you know, just in case you find them in front of you. See, I can find, you end up tomorrow, let's say you end up tomorrow with a video card like this in front, and you have in your mind those questions. Should I get this GTX 680 with 4 gig of VRAM? And you have to question yourself, you know, 680, how much it costs, you know, because if I put the price of this video card and I put just a little more money, you'll end up with a DirectX 12 video card, you know, that has still, it's got 4 gig of VRAM, you know. So I will rather go for a newer model that has the same price. So I'm not recommending this video card if it's expensive. If it's expensive, no. If it comes cheap, if it comes with a system that you bought somewhere cheap and you got this video card super cheap, it just came with it, it's okay. It's a fantastic video card, and this is today's videos. That's the purpose, you know, to show you that this video card still is capable of doing some games, or with some light games, you know, they are very well optimized. If you have it, good. If you found it cheap, fantastic. If you just fell down from the sky, even better. Just tell me which side of the sky so I can go there too. If you have any suggestion, leave a comment, and I will see you very soon.